Welcome to the show today, folks. This is the Wet Shavers Roundtable, episode 72. I am Douglas Smythe from PhoenixShaving.com, and with me I have Mantic59. I'm a sharpologist. And I also have, I think he's on this side, Con Kazazidis, Mr. Shave,
Hi, guys.
Shave the Man of Stray Whisker fame himself. Also, and it's already been a hell of a show, folks. We're 24 minutes behind. We had a late start due to some glitches, some classic Wet Shavers Roundtable glitches, but we're here and we're ready to rock. Today we'll be talking about the best and the greatest. No, not really the best and the greatest. We're going to be talking about everything that pretty much fell or dropped or was released or launched in 2016. Yes, that's right, folks. We're daring to do the impossible here. I don't know about your memory, but mine is well, I heard it a lot in the 90s, I think, and I'm still paying for that. But I'm going to try my best, and that's why we have Mantic and Con here to help us out. So I hope you guys are ready. We have people in the audience too. Guys, don't be afraid to use the question option down below here. Also, we have a poll going, and we have a giveaway happening. For people watching at home that can't see this for the pre-recorded episode, please go to pa-giveaway.com and enter the giveaway today. Okay, where do we begin? So 2016 seems like so long ago. But it really was only, well, a few days ago. What did 2016 begin with for you guys? For you, Mantic, what do you remember? What was the first thing that we saw that was new in 2016?
The first thing, actually, I made myself a list here using my own Sharpologist editorial calendar as sort of a memory refresh.
I knew you'd have one.
What I have down here in more or less chronological order, I would, if I was going to call, there's 4 now. Cool.
And then there were 4.
Wow. Are we going to start all over again?
No, we're making good. Scott Ostermiller is joining us now, folks. Okay, carry on.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Hear you fine.
Yeah, perfect.
I was just going to say, if I had to characterize 2016, I would have called it the year of the razor, because, I mean,
so many.
Yeah, really, so many. From simple things like the Dorco PL602, a plastic razor for under $10. Then the bevel razor became available at Target. Obviously Bevel's been out for a while, but hey, then Harry's new razor, or I guess I should say cartridge, that came out. Then the Dollar Shave Club got bought for $1 billion.
I know.
Then, of course,
something had to shut that guy up.
He's got more commercials out now.
Yeah, he's got that.
Then Kickstarters like Rockwell going with the T, the adjustable, and the version 2 of the 6S, and now this year, I mean, he announced it last year, and then this year he was doing the Chrome version.
Right.
Then there were some other razor Kickstarters, some successful, some not.
Did we see the laser? Was the laser razor 2016 or was that 2015?
I think that was 2015.
Okay. They all start to joust together.
And then it kind of, the year kind of ended, at least for me, with the Parker variant, which came out in December, which to me is just a brilliant razor. And I know I'm missing something. I'm trying. It's on this. Oh, the supply injector single edge. Came out of their Kickstarter into production in 2016. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, 2016 was huge for razors. Douglas, even you had the DOC changes. You had the I can't think of the name of the razor now, but it's based on a French design.
Prismatic.
Thank you, the Prismatic.
And the Bakelite. The Bakelite too.
The Bakelite. Whole bunch of razors last year.
Yeah, it's true. Mostly, it's primarily single edge and slants too. I think was what we saw a lot of, right?
Yeah, like the Colonial Razors SE, the ATT SE, the who else?
One
Blade.
Yep.
One Blade was 2015, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, One Blade was actually 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it got voted.
Hawk.
It got voted best razor of the year, though, right?
The one blade.
Yeah, didn't it on a few forums vote it razor blade of the year? Or
In 2015 or 2016?
I thought it was 2016.
I think the Colonial won in several places for the.
Actually, I thought
for 2016.
I thought it was the Timeless that won.
I don't think it was Timeless.
I don't know.
But that's right. Timeless also came out.
Timeless, yeah, there you go.
Timeless came out.
The Hawk.
Oh gosh,
2016 was a confusing year.
The
really,
Rocknell,
it was a confusing.
The Rocknell single edge that uses the double edge blades.
Yeah.
The Wolfman didn't come out. Somebody mentioned Wolfman, but that didn't come out that was 2015. Gosh, the BBS one, I guess, which was from LA Shave Soap Company.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's a lot that. Oh, was the BBS? I guess somebody's saying the BBS one was in 2014. I just saw a bunch of them come out last year, so maybe it was that the introduction was made in 2014, but then the machining time.
They were introduced, and then of course the launches were just totally sucked up in a matter of hours, and the production had just been with an eyedropper for a lot of these razors.
Yeah,
which really complicates things.
Right.
Yeah.
You have the Barbaros Rocknell adjustable that came out. Oh gosh, what else is there? Yeah, there were a bunch. There was so much that was being done with razors.
2016 was a big year for wet shaving. I mean, in general, there's so many new artisans, vendors that showed up. We lost a couple vendors and we lost a couple artisans, but more came in than left. I mean, it seems like every day I was making a list of stuff that came out, which is on top here. This is stuff I remember that came out, but this is the stuff I released. This is like 50 something, and I saw, like, I was scrolling around Facebook last week, seeing like the best of 2016, and few of my things made it on people's best of 2016. I'm just like, how is that even possible? And after doing this, I'm like, and what it is I bury myself. If I offered only 5 things, people would notice them more. But when you do stuff like this, it hurts you more than it helps you, I think.
Yeah.
But no, I know for me, it was a huge year. And for other artists that were just popping up on my radar left and right, it was insane. Absolutely insane. And then we lost some stuff too. We lost Floid Blue this year, right?
What?
2016. Yeah, they stopped making Floid Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Stock up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Where have you been, Scott?
Well, you're
Where
late.
have you
You're
been?
very late,
Right.
Scott. If you're just stocking up now, I hope. We also found Cella changed their design a little. Well, they went back to the classic like bulk design. They put it on their little soaps now, which I think is really cool looking. Let me open this up. But I mean, they've
stepped it up.
Yeah, they did step it up.
Yeah.
I think they're feeling it from the Artisans, maybe. But
Although
really
I'm not a
good
fan of
presentation.
Cella. Like,
Well,
the scent itself, like the almond amaretto kind of scent, it's nah.
Yeah.
My wife likes it. I didn't really care for it.
It's a classic European scent. I blame the Europeans. That's what a scented soap is to them. It's almond, and that's it. That's the only option you have. It really
Or
was
tobacco.
Tobacco, yeah, maybe some larger houses and whatnot. But I know the classic, like good old fashioned Artisan shave soaps, they were almond most of the time.
Yeah.
To scented anything else is just crazy.
Yeah. What about some notable new artisans? Like, so soap wise, new guys for me that really stuck out were Uncle John's. If anybody had,
He's not new. He's new to us.
I know he's new to us, but like he made kind of his big debut into wet shaving was last year, beginning of last year maybe, but
Okay.
at least for me, I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's him. K Shave Works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's so many. I'm having trouble even remembering. I was like going through stuff. I mean, I got Local Gents.
OSP, Obsessive Soap Perfectionist.
Yes.
Yeah.
But some of these guys
Stubble
have been
Trouble.
around for a while. Stubble Trouble. We saw Mason Boutique start changing their labels a little. They stopped using women's names. This is Octane, which is
Octane. It's an interesting scent.
Gasoline and motor oil. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very. Do you remember our Circle the Wagon soap that Ryan Stephen Green and I did for his VW movie?
I don't,
It
but
came in a film tin and smelled like the inside of a VW bus.
oh gosh.
Yeah, and that was a few years back. But yes, it's very reminiscent of that. I mean, come on. Yeah, exactly. It also came with
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
No.
Just kidding.
Well,
Just kidding.
But yes, okay, so Con, what do you got? I mean, Con, you just started the Stray Whisker, so I know for you, your bomb is now on everybody's radar, and that came out in 20.
The balm, which we're very proud of, is on the radar. It's actually being sold on 3 continents now, so I'm very pleased to say the UK has picked it up as well. For me, I think it was a year of establishing relationships. There are people from Sialkot. I've got about 387 people from Pakistan that want to follow me, that are my friends.
You're paying for that. You're paying $5 for that.
Yeah. Dear friend. So the interaction starts something like this. Dear friend.
Or hello. They just say
hi.
Hello.
And then you respond hi. And
where are these
like,
people coming from? Yeah.
China.
So I think
I don't even sell any products, and they come after me.
Yeah.
I know.
So So they come to all of us, and of course, so I think Pakistan, God love them, they've tried to make some sort of incision in the market, but it's quite interesting. I think, and I've had this discussion with Mark before, I think India is doing some interesting things, particularly with Parker. They've lifted their game, and I think their quality assurance has improved markedly. This whole thing of it's an Indian razor, forget. No, I think that we need to reassess and reevaluate what we think of Indian razors, in particular the Parkers. There will always be knockoffs. There'll always be inferior, copies and language barriers that most wet shavers will try and reverse, because I think they're not only contacting myself, they've contacted all of us, but they're also contacting people that are just consumers. So they're not even after people that are influencers or people that have YouTube channels or whatever. Anyone
they're just spamming.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
So that's been something. So my feelings of inadequacy have dissolved now that I have all these friends from
Pakistan,
from the subcontinent, from Pakistan, and not so much from China. Although China likes to sell fibers, fiber. So there's a lot that's happening.
They just like to steal everything. It's horrible. Like, I mean, trademark patent means nothing to these people. There's no Chinese character for that, I don't think.
Patent?
Yeah.
No.
Well, copyright to the Chinese means they have the right to copy things.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, anything they want.
That's right.
And Con, you bring up a good point with Con just brought up a good point by saying that India, there's some good stuff coming out of India and Pakistan now. Mm-hmm. I think there is, and it always has been. I mean, like, when you're getting stuff from them, bulk wise, quality control ends in the United States. So we're doing that here. You're not seeing the worst of it, or maybe you are. If you are, someone's not doing their job. But pot metal has always gotten a bad name, I think, in the forums, and people don't realize that pot metal is actually kind of cool. It's one, you were used, the people that moaning about this most were using a cartridge razor not only just 2 years ago, and now
plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Now pot metal, it's got to be stainless steel. Pot metal, it's meltable, of course, and it's moldable, so you can get designs and shapes and geometry out of razor heads that you can't do out of stainless steel or other high quality metals, because you can't melt the stuff down. So I mean, pot metal, there is something to be said about it.
The problem is that there are grades of pot metal even, and they end up with the lowest grade of pot metal versus a good grade of pot metal, which, like the Mercurs and the Edwin Jaggers, have been used for years.
Yes,
and they're fine, but you get
they throw everything in the pot. They throw everything in the pot in some of these places, but you'll know immediately when you can even feel the difference, and the chrome doesn't stick to it half the time. They're just doing it wrong. So typically you can weed that stuff out. But yes, but people are so broad when they say pot metal, what they're talking about. And I thought I'd just piggyback on what Con had to say. What did you have to say, Scott?
Oh, I was just going to say with the copyright things, like having lived in China for a while, they have no concept of copyright. It's if I have a copy, I can make it.
Yes.
And I'm free to do that. And so that's just how they do it.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
I think what will happen. Yeah. One of the questions that we asked here was, what do we think of 2017? Is 2017 going to be a year? You know, what will it be big for the wet shaving community? I think what's happening is that the consumers, and the users, the end users, are deciding with. I mean, that's always been the case with whether they're going to accept the inferior Pakistani-made razor, or whether they're willing to part with slightly more money to get something that they feel is worth the investment. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh man, I only bought this razor for $10. It's fantastic. It's rubbish though." And that's the razor is rubbish. Now spend $25 and you might get something a little bit better. So I think a lot of my friends from Sialkot in Pakistan will eventually either I have the theory. I think they're all the same person. It's all coming out of the same factory,
actually.
Right? It's you. It's all you.
I'm actually coming to you live from Pakistan right now.
Good morning, Pakistan.
Yeah.
Pakistan. That's right.
Sorry. Go on. I'm curious about this theory you have.
So that's why your package takes
get to me. No, just kidding. Yeah. So there's a lot of consumers that are driven primarily by price. But that only has a sort of very finite utility. After a while, you say, you know what? Okay, I feel a little bit better about myself only having paid $10, but I'm getting inferior shaves. I'm not getting an optimized, I'm not getting optimized experience here. So I need to either step up or, and so, again, your mileage may vary. We keep saying this till the cows come home, but I mean, I think that there'll be a process of sorting these things out. I think this year will definitely, because they're obviously trying to break into the US market. They're trying to break, they're breaking into, trying to get into Australia as well.
They're watering it down though. It's a short-sighted approach for them, if you ask me.
Yes.
They'll go, and if I buy from them, they'll start pitching to my competitors. So it's like, why would I want to work with you? That's what you're going to do. You're going to turn around and sell to the other guy. So
the thing that I find particularly disturbing is that they will show you who they have dealt with as a sell.
Sometimes,
look, we
sometimes, or they'll take a picture from online, like a Mercur and whatnot, and they'll say they're like,
yes, they do that
on Alibaba, and you see something. It's like, no, there's no way that all these different manufacturers are making. They've done that to me with my products. It's a Joe with his Illume block. One of them had, it's like, you can't do that. I always write them immediately, and they take it right down. But you can't do that. And they do.
A lot of them are making Mercur razors. A lot of them are making Edwin Jagger razors. A lot of them. Wow, you guys make these razors?
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's a breakdown in communication. Yes.
And everyone's making stainless steel razors too. They claim to be doing stainless steel, but it's just the handle. Again, the head's like popping. But you ask them, like, well, is the head stainless steel? So, oh yeah. And you really ask them, it's hysterical. It's hysterical. Yep. What else do we got for 2016? So we saw all this. So it has truly been the year of the razor, as you're saying, Con, on many levels. I'm trying to think of what else was
to Con's note, for me at least, like he was saying the year of connection and meeting up with people, and that was a big thing for me. Was this past year meeting up with so many awesome people. Like my first experience at Big Shave West was just incredible. Absolutely loved it. And because I got to travel around a bit this year, I got to meet with so many different people all across the country, and it was awesome. That for me, that was a real highlight.
You're right. It started off with 2016 with Meetups. Started up this. It was just this huge trajectory, and then it went like there been no Meetups that I can find happening in the last 4 months since we run the Meetup page. Now people will typically tell us what's going on so we can broadcast it. And nothing. We got nothing. So it just kind of faded out. Once there's one
toward the end of the year, though, people start getting busy with stuff, and it's just like it's not a good time for really anybody to be doing that kind of stuff. But spring, summer, that's a good time for a lot of people.
True. I think it's also like once a big meetup happens, they all start sprouting up around it. The smaller ones, people are inspired and they're doing that, but then it just kind of fades out too. That's what I've seen, anyways. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Mantic?
I've got sort of a different take on it, to tell you the truth.
Excellent.
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm not even quite sure how I say this. The meetups themselves, I think, are a side benefit of the general recognition or general knowledge of the old school wet shaving niche growing. I actually was invited to Milwaukee, for example, around Thanksgiving to do a wet shaving talk for a barber for their clients. And not to toot my own horn too much, but over this coming year, apparently I'm going to be doing a lot more of that, because I've been contacted by a number of people about going out and doing outreaches, kind of classes, presentations for the general public, which kind of blows my mind, actually.
That is something else.
Yeah. But I agree, but it just shows you the
interest
and the growth of what started maybe a couple of years ago with people just kind of throwing up their hands at Gillette's 6 blades or 7 blades or 8 blades and trying to find out, well, there's got to be something else. What's out there. And I think 2017 may just be a tipping point for the general consumer, for learning something new by taking a step back.
Yes. Now that's inspiring, actually. So I do enjoy hearing that, Mark. And so, but what do you think about meetup wise? Do you think we're going to see, so will we see bigger meetups? Are those more for the people that already are in it?
I think that's plateaued, to tell you the truth, because a meetup for any scale, as the Big Shave West, I'm sure, discovered, and some of these other large that try to do large shows, it's tough to do. I mean, it's not easy putting that stuff on. It's not easy putting even a small show on. Yeah. And so I think people have kind of realized that they would like to do something, but they don't have the resources to put on something big. So I think you'll find informal meetups, with a week or two notice. Some guys in a metropolitan area saying, "Hey, let's get together next week." I think you'll see more of that than you'll see something on the scale of a Big Shave West.
Right. And I'm glad you brought up the Big Shave West, because it's been bouncing around in my head, the possibilities of turning it into a 2-day event. Do you think that's nuts?
I wasn't there last year. I was planning to be, but I ended up not being able to go, so I can't really say myself.
What do you guys think, Scott?
I think it could definitely be a 2-day event, but
I don't want to overstretch, what the good things we already have. I mean,
but I think this kind of talks to what Mark had mentioned. There needs to be so obviously there needs to be some sort of value added. It's not just guys that know each other in the community that just get together, which they could do anywhere in any restaurant or a pub or somewhere and do that anyway. Yeah. There has to be something, perhaps.
Classes
we can cross-pollinate with other. So you have a seminar type thing. You have, something happens, on the first day, whatever.
Breakouts.
Convention kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also you may have to do things that other than just shaving. There might be some other grooming scenarios that could occur, like, I don't know, deportment and dress and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's funny. There's something very similar coming up in February that's more along those lines, and that's StyleCon.
StyleCon, yep.
I'll be there this year. Are you going, Mantic?
I've been to them. I don't think I'll be able to go to this year's, but I have been to them in the past.
I'm going. This will be my first year, but I'm going to check that out and see what that's all about. But that, and again, that's more, as you know, style. And grooming and so forth than wet shaving, but I know I'm going to be there. Luke's going to be there. Luke Webster. We're trying to break into that scene. We want to know more about what those guys are doing, because we are kind of like we're in line with those guys. running a parallel course here, so it's bound to collide at some point. I mean, you even see some guys with the pomades breaking into the wet shaving now, and the wet shaving guys make pomades for that. You know, so there is some bleed through.
Yeah.
I think ladies perhaps will be a little more represented this year. I think the wet shave, the ladies. I know we keep talking about this every year, but there are now guys that are. Yes,
someone's going to spearhead it though.
You know,
no one's spearheading it yet. Someone has to do and I mean they might be hit with a loss if they do that, but I think it's just going to take one person to really, you know, focus on that demographic.
But I mean, the guys that I spoke to last year at Big Shave West, some of them had to sort of bribe their better halves to come along with them.
Yeah.
And there had to be something else that was going on. And as it turned out, Old Town Shaving has a wine and cheese room that you can sample the wine, and so there's other things happening there. So I think that's an attraction. I think if the ladies think that it's just a guy's thing, I don't want to go along to that. It would be boring. There'll be nothing there for me. Yeah. I think that needs to turn around. And I know that Gail does that. Gail Wells with Edwin Jagger. I mean, she tries to bring in the ladies. There's a lot of dedicated ladies shaving things, which is great. But I think that may also start to sort of break out. I don't think it's going to explode in any way. I'm not suggesting that from one moment. It may, I don't know. But I think that there has to be a little more of an inclusiveness in that way to try and make these types of conventions / meetups or shows a little more broader in their appeal. It takes rather than just an old guys club.
Strategy. It has to be like a tactic. You have to plan your shaving event around some other women's event going on the same weekend, so you can both go to two. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember last year there was a wine show up the road? It was Bela Lugosi's family or something, Boris Karloff's family. Do you remember that? In Pasadena.
The year before, there was something going on up the road that we were trying to pull those guys into our thing, but I didn't know what happened last year as well, and I had no idea.
There's always something.
It was about Bela Lugosi.
2 years ago, there was. I think 2 years ago there was a beer festival. And then last year there was some, I think it was was it Boris Karloff? I think it was Bela Lugosi's family. It was his daughter or granddaughter or someone that, and they released these really cool bottles.
That's awesome.
Yeah. See, so that's the thing. So if there's something else happening in town,
you could
sort
of wine.
Piggyback. It was red wine. You could piggyback the event out of Napa Valley. There you go. So yeah, I mean,
that's what you got to do when you're planning these events is try to piggyback. If you're not try to piggyback them with other male things like a knife show's going on or a gun show, maybe you can rope some of these guys into wet shaving, to expose them to it, or something for women as well. I mean, so you have a lot of options when you're trying to book something big like this. Or
just have it in Las Vegas.
Yes. It's true. There's always a convention going on in Vegas.
Now we should have it at the Venetian, Mark. We should have it at the Venetian.
Definitely.
Well, there was at Stats. There's that other side of the store that is all crafty kind of stuff. I don't know that. Yeah. Of course, well, my wife would be bored with that after about half an hour. So I don't know.
Guys, we have some questions down below that the audience is.
Let's take a look.
What do we got first? Okay, so there's one for you, Mantic. It's from Alex Pohl. He's asking, Mantic, I know you're a big fan of the progress. What would your current opinion be? Which is, what would your current opinion be? Which is a better choice for adjustable progress or the variant?
The progress was my pried out of my cold dead fingers razor for many years. The variant has usurped it.
Wow.
The variant addresses most of the little nagging quirks of the progress for me, and
I'm shocked.
I have put up my progress in favor of the variant. I'm very, very pleased with it. It shaves
that is saying something.
Well, I got to try the variant then.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely surprised with Mark's comments, and I don't know. And I'll ask you, Mark, have you noticed an inconsistency in quality assurance out of Merkur of late?
Yes.
Are they still producing
on the razors?
No, the razors.
The razors. I think they are struggling with putting out the quantity that meets the demand. And I do think recent past year or so, maybe the past couple of years, Mercurs are not quite as quality controlled as they were. They're still excellent, don't get me wrong. Frankly, I think Edwin Jagger is the one that's having a little more trouble with quality control, particularly on their head screws. You know, that's their weak link in the chain, has been for a long time. And I see more and more postings on the forums and blogs and things about people dropping their Edwin Jagger, and the head knocks off the little threaded piece, and they're screwed for you know, they got to buy a new razor. So yes, I have seen a little of that, and I think it goes back to the general supply and demand from the consumers that are discovering the older, more established, more historical products, and the companies are in effect kind of getting caught flat-footed. And that may be another reason why we're seeing last year such an increase of artisan razors, that they are just trying to fill that need.
No, it's true. You see that a lot. And maybe a lot of these bigger companies like Edwin Jagger and Mercur only see this as like a fad or whatnot. I mean, these guys have been doing it for years and years and years when there was no rush, and they don't know if they should hire more or not. I mean, like, to keep up with the demand, because you saw the same thing with the straight razor world back too. They couldn't keep up with it, and they were afraid to jump in, a lot of these companies, and hire more people to get the job done, and hire more artists to do the blades, so on and so forth. So I don't know. It's interesting. I know Edwin Jagger, they've been really good about taking care of their customers. However, though, if you do have a problem with
and
it,
Mercur too, and even Trent mentioned in the comments here, he had a problem with his variant, and you know, it was taken care of immediately. I will say that, you know, for the slightly inconsistent quality control issues that we've seen, for the most part, the manufacturers have been excellent about addressing it.
Right. Very true.
Now the variant, that's about what, 50, 60 bucks?
I think about just shy of 60.
Okay. So I mean, very comparable to the Mercur then, to the Progress.
Well, the Progress has actually gone up in price. Let me see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me just see real quick what it's going. I opened up another tab here, so I'm not on camera, but
but you are.
We can still see it. You're good.
$57 on Super Safety razors.
Okay.
Not bad. Okay.
Awesome.
Our next question is, looking forward, what do you guys think will be the next innovation for wet shaving and wet shavers? I guess that goes back to the whole, what do we see happening in 2017? And that's a damn good question, at least on this day, because there's
a better blooming process. I'm just kidding.
Oh no!
Just kidding. Just kidding.
You made it the entire show.
You had to do that. You had to go there, didn't you?
Now, hopefully, 2017 will bring us some new arguments. I mean, it used to be all about the how to dry your shaving brush, and you know, I hated that argument. But you know, nowadays I miss that argument.
Just get yourself one of these.
Mantic, I mean, you see a lot of these artisans and vendors and producers, they approach you first, so you see a lot of stuff that we haven't seen yet. So with all that knowledge and insight, what do you think we are going to be seeing in 2017?
If 2016 was the year of the razor, 2017 will be the year of the shave cream, and things related to shave creams. You know, brushes and creams in particularly. I think you will see some really innovative, maybe even groundbreaking products coming out.
That is interesting.
With that in mind, one thing that we've seen a great increase in over the past 2016, and I anticipate a bit even better increase in 2017 to be especially synthetic brushes. They have made just huge strides over just the past couple of years in quality and in feel and how they actually work. You know, we see many brush makers now coming out with a more, you know, like I mean, granted, Nathan Clark's had his Uber Soft for a little while. You know, you have Wolf Whiskers with their, gosh, you know, I can't remember the name of their knot, but
it's all the same knot though, the Plisson style knot, right? So I mean, that goes back
to the
whole Chinese thing again. They approached everyone's competitors and just like tank the market for brushes. When the Crown King started, I thought I was gonna be the first guy with like my own brush company, and like, you know, I kept everything secretive. And then like the week before, someone else launched a brush. I was like, hey, how did he get my knots? How did he get the knot? You know, I mean, like, and then one after another, as I'm trying to struggle to do my release. No, it's just totally oversaturated. It was unbelievable. So I mean, short-sighted. Very short-sighted.
They've cannibalized the entire market. Yeah. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, it's really, you know, it stinks.
And it's unsustainable, really.
Yeah.
Well, they've commoditized the synthetic shave brush to, you know, where you can actually get something reasonable for a very low price on the consumer side, which kind of gives a little breath of air to the mid to higher end Badger side, because they can better differentiate their product now than they could before.
True.
Because it used to be like, for example, the mules for sure, they had the very high end generation 4 synthetics. That generation 4 has come so far down in price that it's not really seen as a premium product anymore.
No.
Yeah, it was bound to happen. I just wish it didn't happen so dramatically as it did. You know what I mean? It's great to get a Plisson style knot now for a few bucks as opposed to $60 or whatever it was at the time. But it's just, again, it's so dramatic.
It's interesting here in Australia, and maybe of interest here in Australia, L'Occitane stores have dropped the brush completely. They're not selling it. They're just not.
Plisson must be pissed.
And having said, having said that, it was worth I don't know if it was worth this much, but they were asking $100 Australian for a Plisson brush. There was a backlash. People wrote to Plisson here in Australia into the head office, and they dropped the price to $50. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that's not good, because people were saying, hey, my friends are sending it to me from the States for $30. You know, you guys are, you know, you're ripping us off. And so it just quietly left the building. So I don't know. Are they still selling Plisson brushes in L'Occitane in the US?
I haven't seen one in a long time.
I think they are still being sold, though. I've seen that. Well, I don't know. I've seen it
in
I haven't seen
very limited circumstances. You only see them in like certain kits. You don't. I'm not seeing.
I got mine online.
Right.
Yeah, I got mine online. It was like $35 or something like that.
Yeah. That's a shame. It's a shame. Okay.
Yeah.
So
well, Plisson, I mean, and yeah, they suffer. I think they definitely are suffering. I remember I contacted Plisson and asked about, you know, holding their brushes here. And they said they wanted, initially they wanted a €3,000 minimum order. This is if you want to get it through the door with these guys. They've dropped that now. You get minimum order is €1,000. You know, we might even send it to you for, you know, you might only have to place a €500 order as a minimum. But in the early days, they were asking €3,000 minimum as an initial order, and then after that you can order whatever you like. They've dropped that rule now, so that just tells you what this Plisson-esque knot has done to the market.
Oh yeah, no, it's killed it.
Well, I mean, it's offered an alternative, though. I think for a lot of people, like to get a really good performing brush at a lower price. You know, so a similar performance to a high-end Badger knot. You know, people love that, but it is also it's helping the Badger side of things to maybe they aren't selling as many, but they're selling nicer ones because they're seeing the differentiation in product. And there's now a pride or a status in having a Simpson or an M&F or something like that. You know, a Kent brush. There's now a status.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time.
Christian has said that there are no more brushes at L'Occitane.com.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks for that, Christian. Yeah. So they're not available anymore.
It's a really great time though to be a noob in this hobby. I mean, man, I'm so jealous.
It's never been better.
No, it's never been. The razors that are out there for cheap, you know, everything. It blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. So
it's true.
Good for you guys. We have any more questions? Let's see. Well, I think we've kind of answered that one. Well, why not? What's your favorite new product? Con, what's your favorite new product? I know you've been really busy. So you had your hand on a lot of new products.
I'm enjoying this Stella Alpina. by Saponificio Varesino. A number of people have asked me what the scent profile is on this. All I'm going to say is that it's kind of this. Mirto di Panere by Acqua di Parma.
Wow, we don't get that much around here.
But I also have a friend that makes it in Arizona as well, that scent profile. So if you're interested, you can check out Gondolier. Did I say that?
Gondolier?
Yeah.
No, it's not Acqua di Parma.
No,
Acqua
di Parma. Blue. No.
Oh.
Okay, it's Blue Mediterranean.
Oh, Mediterranean.
I don't know if you can see that. Mirto di Panere.
I couldn't see that. Okay, interesting. And it really it pairs well with Gondolier.
It pairs frighteningly well. It's spooky almost. Yeah, it pairs very, very well.
Once I remember to check it out.
Yes, and as does this.
Interesting.
Very good stuff.
Very tasty. What you got, Scott?
Favorite product of the year. Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, those lists are all this stuff.
Favorite new product, I think it is. It's just favorite
new product.
New.
Something that's new to me, at least. So a couple things maybe. The new to me product would have been like the Rockwell 6S. This year was my first year trying that, and really,
it was a success.
Yeah, it was a success. I wanted to write it off as hype. I really did. I like going into it. They sent me one to get my thoughts on it, and I really wanted to write it off as hype. But man, I love that thing.
Nice.
It is just a very solidly built razor and totally worth
good stuff.
The $100 in my opinion. Totally worth it.
Yeah. Well, they got it right. They finally got it right. I mean, they put in all the time, energy. Oh, man, good for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they stuck with it, and they made all the corrections that they needed to. They fixed all the quality control issues that they had, and
they did right.
Yeah, exactly.
And they didn't.
That's probably
they could have taken their money and just walked off. That's half the thing about Kickstarters is that if it doesn't work out, the people backing it understand that they could lose their money. But Gareth and his partners, they stuck to it. And they're college kids. They could have walked away from this. Yeah. And instead they said, no, we're going to do this, damn it. Yeah. And to their credit, and they've lost a chunk of money that they could have put in the bank because they wanted to do it right. And I think that has been a very nice long-term investment for them.
Yes,
I agree.
I agree 100%. And what do you have, Mark, for the best of 2016?
Oh, I test so many things, and I get so many things. It's hard to really. I almost kind of get jaded to it, believe it or not. I will say I really like the variant a lot.
Yes, that's clear.
Some of the new soaps from the Artisans, I won't say are particularly dramatic, but they're evolutionary, that have just become really nice lines. Mm-hmm. Some of the Artisans have gotten their lines into just more than one niche website, which I think is terrific when you can buy, Katie's Bubbles, for example, at I think West Coast Shaving carries them, and I think actually Amazon has a few of these things now.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just really nice to see. For individual products, though, honestly, I don't see a whole lot standing out, particularly on the cream and soap side, just because there's such a glut of stuff. But again, I think I'll say again that 2017, I think we'll see some really new, innovative stuff coming down the pike. And from somebody on the side comments here, I'm looking back to see who. Okay, Ian, what's the next innovation? I can't say. I've been sworn to secret. I really want to tell bad, but I can't.
It's okay. You can just tell us afterward, Mark.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'm under some non-disclosure agreements, so I can't say anything. But oh man,
well, I'm not, folks. So I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag.
There you go.
I got nothing. I'm working on some stuff. I hope it's considered innovative and new, because I think it is.
I will say, I think this year could be a year of aftershaves. Like I see a lot of artisans really stepping up their game with that. Douglas has always had some of the best, and I'll say that flat out now. Like many of the artisans nowadays, like they start offering some aftershaves, but like Douglas, yours is the only one that I can put on in the morning and it actually stays through like the entire day. Like when I go to bed, I can still smell it. Yeah, it's seriously got legs. And I see a lot of artisans that will start getting into that. That's going to be a new offering.
You're right. I'm starting to see like similar ingredients to what I've been using for a while now. Illum is showing up in aftershaves now. Flower waters, they're using hydrosols like I've been doing. Different Hedione. I was always about adding more because I never wanted to make just an aftershave. It had to be an aftershave cologne for me, which historically an aftershave shouldn't be lasting you all day into the next. And some people actually get mad if it does because they want to, wear an EDT on top of that, so on and so forth. But I like something to last a long time, so it was primarily for myself, and I'm glad other people dug it too. But it is different. It's aftershave cologne, so it's only
one thing I'm really excited about this year as well. So I brought this out, but so we did the Noah soap this year, the Noah L'Orange. This year we've got a really fun one planned. So it'll involve strawberries, but it's going to be awesome.
Strawberry and oud?
Not strawberry and oud because that's been done, but it'll involve strawberries and possibly some raspberry in there, but it's going to be it's going to be fun. So looking forward to that one as well. It should hopefully it'll do really well.
Maybe I should modify my comment then to say maybe if 2016 was the year instead of the razor, I should say of hardware, and 2017 maybe the year of software.
Back to software.
Yeah,
Back to
definitely.
software.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see something completely unique that hasn't been done yet. I mean, there's so much room for new products. We just, it's like trying to understand the fourth dimension, thinking about it in a third dimensional mind. There's objects out there, there's products out there that we do not know that we need yet, that someone hasn't thought of yet, that I think we're going to start seeing. And I'm not talking about me, but it has to happen.
Yep.
We got to, all these other.
I might start making some of these and selling them.
Wooden shelves.
Shelves. Like actually well put together dens that can be like display your razors and do it well and store your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much room around, and in fact, I think more people should start thinking like that. Like, what's the other thing I can do? Otherwise, the same thing happens. It oversaturates the market, and then you start losing some really cool people.
So if anybody has any suggestions on things that they would like to see in a shelf or in a storage structure of some sort for shaving stuff, send me a PM. Let me know. So I've got some ideas flowing that I think would be really nice. That I'd like to make modifications to my own, but I figured, at this point, I'm just gonna build myself a new one. So,
I might also what I want to see this year is us as a community making some changes in the world around us. What I mean by that is getting wet shaving into the Boy Scout freaking handbook. I've been on this tangent for years now, it seems, but I really want to see, before I die, wet shaving make its way into the Boy Scout handbook. It has not yet. It's never been in there. I went back 100 years through all the different handbooks, and wet shaving was never in there. And this is more aimed at the Eagle Scout. I'm thinking as a badge, a merit badge for them, about a personal hygiene badge. And so my goal is to get it in there. And I'm just asking you folks out there listening right now, if you haven't already, send an email to myscouting@scouting.org and demand in a nice way that they put wet shaving or traditional shaving in the Boy Scout handbook. It's time we have that there.
Douglas,
Mantic, you look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, Douglas. Actually, Rick DeWeese from the Brush and Blade and Soap podcast is a Boy Scout leader, and I think you would find an ally with him maybe you two can somehow work together on that.
I think I spoke with him about that years ago because I've had the badge. I've been selling the merit badge, the unofficial merit badge, for like 3 or 4 years. I sent him some actually. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
But yes, I in fact, and if there are any Boy Scout leaders out there, or anyone involved with the BSA, contact me. I'm super easy to get a hold of, either on Facebook or whatever, or right now. But I've actually written to them, the Boy Scouts, and I wrote a proposal, everything that it would take to win the merit badge, and I'm just waiting back. I guess they meet up like twice a year, and figure out what's going to be in the book, what's going to be removed from the book. I mean, they just removed like breeding rabbits from the book 2 years ago, but yet wet shaving's not in there, like that, you know. And the problem is, a lot
shaving
of
is a life skill.
It is. I mean, it's
breeding rabbits is not.
It's so in line with what the Boy Scouts are about: thriftiness, you know, knife, respect for blades, and so on and so forth, sharpening. Straight razor would be perfect in there, but you don't see that. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Scoutmasters, it's not familiar to them. They don't know anything about wet shaving, a lot of them. So it's
and a lot of the Scouts, I mean, when they're 12, 13 years old getting into Boy Scouts, many of them don't have facial hair yet. So maybe that's...
Yeah.
Like you were saying, Douglas, you know, so for Eagle Scouts, the Venture Scouts, those older, the Explorer Scouts, those guys are the ones that are older. It might be an option for them. But
I definitely, it should be in there. I don't know why it's a no-brainer to me. So this is the year I'd like to see us really, as a community, make that happen. And it's just, you know, again, it would just demonstrate the power that we all have in the community to make things happen. And that said, you know, whenever any of you have meetups, if you're watching right now and you're considering putting on your own meetup, invite the local troop as well. See if you can get the Boy Scouts in there, or the Boy Scout leaders, because once they know, I think they'll get it. And so it's just going to be more of a homegrown, organic way of eventually getting into the handbook, but it's going to be there. And I spoke to Michael Ham, leisure guy, about if we do get in, when we do get in there, he's going to be writing that chapter. So he said nice. Yes, he'd do it. Yeah. So awesome. He's on board. So again, people, myscouting@scouting.org. Send that email now. Just a little email. Okay, guys, we are winding down. Anyone else have anything else to add to this before we take off? Oh, we have some questions. Do any of you guys know of any soaps and colognes that smell similar to Haman Bouquet? I don't. Any of you guys?
I would talk to Irina from Ginger's Garden. She is very, very good at mimicking those scents. She might know of. She may have one already that she has tons that goes really well with that kind of stuff, or with just about any fragrance. So she may be a good person to talk to. Contact
Sharky, Peter Sharkalis. He's a frag head. Or Maximilian Husler of Max Must Know on YouTube. He's a frag head. He actually probably, and he's a wet shaver, so he actually will be able to help you out with that. Or I can find out in the meantime and get back to you next week. I'll actually write that down. But okay, folks.
Robert Kumar is asking, are you coming out with any more takes on vintage aftershave like this?
Well, if I do,
seriously, guys, sundown.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. That was my last. Actually, that wasn't the last hit of 2016. The brush soap was. Did you see this, Mantic?
No.
Oh, I finally made a soap to clean brushes with.
Yeah.
And so the package,
I need to get one of those.
It comes with a comb, very important. But check out the soap. So yeah, it splays the bristles when you put on it. You don't wind up. You don't cause any snarling and tangles with this design, and it's made with well, you'd like this. It's made with sodium borate, borax, and white vinegar. So it's got all the time-tested ingredients in there. But yeah, and this came out of one of our roundtables. The guys brought up like, why don't you make one, Douglas? And so
I'll have to try it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll send you one. I'll send you one.
I need to grab one too.
Yeah, I think Phil has. I think I sent him one, but he was interested in it as well. But that was the last product I think of 2016 came out with. Thank God.
It was like last week, wasn't it? It wasn't that long.
It all blends together after a while. It's just like, man.
You've been a busy man this year.
And I will say the new razor. We have a new razor. Man, I'm so excited about this new razor. I can't say much about it except I think it's mind blowing, and it's gonna turn a lot of heads. I'm calling it the Alpha Ecliptic. It's very Space Odyssey 2001. If you
Wow.
yeah, I think it's something that could have fallen from the sky and been praised by ancient man. But folks, we are running out of time here. I'm finding myself. Before we leave, though, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, please check out I'd Rather Be Shaving. It's a new shave show. It's a morning wet shaving show with Matt Plisson and myself, and something you can watch over coffee or breakfast. It's probably about 15 minutes long, roughly around there. Each episode will be, and we just launched it last Friday or yesterday, and it's a new wet shaving morning show, and I think you're all going to enjoy it. I know I enjoy it, but I guess I'm kind of happy. But thank you, Con, for joining us. It's been a while, Con. So welcome back.
It has been a long while. Yes.
Welcome back to the show.
And my very first time on this platform.
Yeah,
so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry about how
it's a pretty good platform, isn't it? It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Scott, you missed the first 20 minutes. We all missed the first 20 minutes.
I know. I was in my car.
Oh, it's okay. We were in cyberspace somewhere. None of us were on the same page. And Mantic, thank you so much. It was a last-minute invite, but thank you for joining the panel, too.
My pleasure.
Who better to have? I mean, thank you. We really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us today, for your patience, too. Turns out we had a really good audience. Some great questions, guys. Thank you for joining us again. Thank you, Mr. Ace Cavendish. It's good to see you. But yes.
He keeps telling me to shave my beard off. I don't know.
Well, I got the beard thing happening too because I have that new razor coming out, and I want to do a video where it's like just cuts through. So yes,
I haven't shaved yet today.
So thank you once again, folks, for joining us. This has been another Wet Shavers Roundtable. We'll be checking back with you next week with Wet Shavers Roundtable episode 73. And I don't know what that one's going to be about yet, so bear with me. If you have any ideas, get to me on Facebook. We'll catch you then, folks. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you then. Shave on.
Yeah, guys.